We're good.
We're good. How do you feel about the new chain?
Good. It's a relief. Very grateful for the courier that drove it all the way up from Reykjavik. The only one in Iceland. No, it's good. I think the other one would have worked, but you don't want any question marks like that when you're about to leave on an insanely hard, long ride.
Mm-hmm.
Nervous? Yeah. Honestly, yeah. The distance, like 250 miles, doesn't scare me too much, but the weather, the unknown, not knowing the route. But it's also super exciting for that reason. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. So.
It's such a volatile place, you know. And just yesterday, as an example, a thermal vent underneath the Mýrdalsjökull glacier melted a bunch of ice, which created a flood and wiped out some of my originally planned route. So I'm having to reroute about 40 miles to the west, which is putting me a bit more in the path of this predicted storm. It sounds like snow is possible in the highlands as early as tomorrow night. So our weather window is super tight, to say the least. It's kind of now or never.
But yeah, so quite an early start. There's a really beautiful church up on the hill here. And when the clock strikes 4 a.m., I'll roll out and dip my back tire in the northern coastal water and get across the entire country as fast as I can and touch my front tire in that southern coastal water. And yeah, it's about 250 miles. We think about 15,000 feet of climbing, but it's kind of hard to say. We don't really know. There's not a huge amount of, long story short, no one's tried to do it. So there's a lot of unknowns, but that's the idea. And on paper, I think I should be able to do it in one push, but I guess we'll find out.
Good morning. This is the Icelandic Meteorological Office forecast for Saturday, September 11th. Strong southwest winds are continuing to push a cold front north across the country throughout the next day. Temperatures are expected to drop to just below 50 across the highlands.
There's actually no easy refuel points on the whole route. So I'm taking 7,000 calories with me, which should fuel me for about 24 hours. But I'll be, collecting water from glacial streams along the way. One thing that actually has been giving me a lot of anxiety the lead up is these two big river crossings, and they're created by this, glacial melt, and so you never really know how deep they're going to be or even where exactly they're going to be. The fact that it's going to be colder will help some theoretically because there'll be a bit less water runoff. But, you know, when you're wading across knee-deep or thigh-deep glacial river and the temperature out is already hovering around freezing, it brings its own set of perils.
What's that?
Hopefully the last crossing.
Yeah. Right as my feet got warm again.
All the way to Vic, eh? Impressive, man.
Well, that's the idea.
Yeah.
That's the idea. I think tomorrow it's gonna be fucking windy, so
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
That's why we're just trying to get it done. Well, I'm gonna watch you.
Okay, I'll guinea pig for you. All for the cause.
Thanks, man. Where are you from?
From Barcelona.
Right on.
Barcelona.
That guy's a fucking madman.
Is he?
Just riding in.
Yeah, in sandals.
What did he say?
He said maybe there.
Can you believe how rough this road is?
Destroyed.
Thanks for guinea pigging the river crossings.
Oh, my pleasure. Right, mate.
Yep, have a good day.
Good fit.
Wind speeds are now expected to build to 40 knots and temperatures to fall to freezing as hazardous weather conditions are beginning to develop across the highlands. Steady rain will begin to develop into snow in the higher elevations by 4 p.m. All highland travelers are recommended to vacate the area or seek shelter.
I took a swing at setting a Colorado Trail record last year. I mean, having spent all of those years racing, you come to think that you meet your limit. That I actually hadn't ever been to my true limit. But the Colorado Trail took me there, and I actually pushed myself to the point where I really physically couldn't continue and caused some damage.
My hands are so fucked. I'm just tired. Like I can't even drink out of a bottle anymore.
Worried about this wind. I'm like crawling.
Sealskin gloves finally got soaked through. I literally can't operate anything.
Oh, I can't even get into this pocket.
It's really hard to figure out. I don't need to go out and subject myself to that much discomfort for that long and risk and, you know, the cold and wet and all that sort of thing. But when I really push hard in an effort, it kind of forces you into a zone state. And for me, that's kind of the best way to take it all in. Like, feel the wind, feel the rain, feel the terrain, see it all, and just really become one with it. It gives me an idea of what I'm made of, I guess. You know, being able to deal with day-to-day life feels a lot more manageable when you take yourself into more extreme realms. And going to places unknown, both physically and psychologically, it's just, it's hard to describe, but it's a really fun place to be, and it feels right.
Overnight snow accumulation is now expected to taper off tomorrow morning. Snowfall has exceeded 5 centimeters in some areas of the highlands, but warmer coastal temperatures will confine to weak areas continued precipitation to rain. Thank you for tuning into the IMO public broadcast. Goodbye and good night.
Hell yeah!
I've come to realize that massive rides like this are just something I need. I want to do massive crossings like this all over the world. When we got home, Nicole and I pulled out our globe and just spent hours, what are the places geographically that this makes sense? I want to experience our planet in this way as long as I can. To be honest, even when I'm not racing the clock to set some kind of record, I, just generally day to day, sometimes feel like I'm in a race against time, in a race to take in as much as I can during my time here.